Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW, that's right, but this time we're in charge of Impact Wrestling, one of the stalwarts that won the first piece of the competition for WWE in the noughties. So yeah, it's a really interesting one. Their roster is brilliant at the moment, and I genuinely think with the roster they've got, with bringing people in as well, I genuinely think they stand a real good chance of competing with those ones at the top. Will it take a while? Yes, but that's the challenge. We're going to try and compete. I'll show you the events we got on. So every Tuesday is Impact and Explosion. Now, I'll get this out of the way now. They usually do tapings. Like they do one block of a bunch of tapings. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it live every single week, except from so Impact will just, they'll just tape one and it will release on that day, whereas Explosion, it will be taped on Tuesdays but shown on Saturdays. So that's the only thing really is so we'll probably get both of those, or I might change that in the future, I don't really know, but currently that's the way it is. So every Tuesday is going to be Impact, I've changed it now, and every Thursday is going to be Explosion. I had this in my head and I can't believe I forgot that I had it in my head, so that's why I hadn't done it yet. But I was going to do Impact on Tuesday, Thursday for Explosion, and then obviously the events at the weekend. So that works. First pay-per-view we've got is Bound for Glory, and that's our third week in October, so we've got a little while. To be exact, we've got 11 shows to book. Now, obviously, it's already different to NXT in the fact that we've got 2 shows to book. So, for now, I'm going to book both shows and show you both shows. If you would rather only see Impact, then obviously I will book Impact and then just show you the results of Explosion at the start of every episode each week. But if you want to see both, which is what I'm going to do initially, then yeah, just basically say that's all good, or if you want it changed, just tell me how to change it, because I've never booked 2 shows before. So yeah, we've got Bound for Glory. We're bringing back Destination X in December. We're going to a more rigid pay-per-view card, so 5-6 pay-per-views a year usually. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I prefer it that way. I quite like how NXT and AEW do it, and Impact are starting to go that way, so I just fully went that way. Obviously Impact are just starting to do that with the big gaps. I'm just full hogging it, I don't care. Ignore my squeaky chair, I don't know what's going on with it at the moment. But we look at the teams, we've got a few teams there. This one, I don't know why them 2 are together, but sure. Slater and Rhino, or well, it'll be Heath and Rhino, because he's not called Slater in Impact, so it'll be Heath and Rhino. So yeah, we've got a few in here. We've got a few different stuff. Obviously, I don't know the roster as well as I do NXT's, so if there's any hidden gems that you guys know of, please just tell me, and that will help me out. Otherwise, I'll just continue with what I've got. If you look at the storylines, these are what we're going to go back with. So we're starting off with the Bound for Glory series. It's returning. I know it hasn't been in for a while. I don't know why, but it hasn't. Bound for Glory series is back. I don't want to really show you who's in it yet, but it's 10 of the best from Impact battling it out for a spot on the card at Bound for Glory to face for the title. So I'm glad to get the Bound for Glory series back, because I love it. It's one of my favourite things, the Bound for Glory series. So I'm bringing it back because I love it. Next rivalry is Chris versus Dreamer. Jake Chris brothers been released because of, if you don't know, research it yourself, but some bad stuff. And Now Must Go Alone is taken out of his frustrations on Dreamer. We've got Jordan Grace versus Madison Rayne. Now obviously Jordan Grace does possibly have a rematch clause, but because Rayne has been highly criticising her online and stuff, and on commentary, about her loss. Grace is going to go for her. Heath and Rhino storyline. Obviously, Rick Swann and Eric Young have a rivalry going on, because of you know what. Motor City Machine Guns are going to face the Desi Hit Squad. The North will face the Rascals. Moose and Shamrock. Valkyrie, Rosemary and Bravo. Perazzo and Kylie Ray. RVD versus Eddie Edwards. And then Willie Mack versus Chris Bay. Obviously all those rivalries are there just to give you some flavour of what I'm starting off with. Nothing on this save was set up for me, so not a single. I had to add the TNA World Heavyweight title because that wasn't even in there. So yeah, it's a bit annoying to a point, but it's fine. I just wanted to give you an overview. I haven't got my owner goals yet, so I'll show you that when I move forward. But as always, when I move forward, if anything happens, I'll show you. If anything doesn't, we'll just get straight into the show. So hopefully that gives you some idea of what's going on. If you don't know the champions, Diona Perazzo is Knockouts champion. World champion is Eddie Edwards. Tag team champions are the Motor City Machine Guns. X Division champion Chris Bay, and the TNA World Heavyweight champion is Moose. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some idea. So if you've got any questions, do put them in the comments, and I'll either answer them in the comments or answer them in the next video if there's anyone else that are interested in knowing the answer. So yeah, I'll carry on, see what happens. Right, so we've got our owner goals. So we must not fall below small size, which is easy. Can't hire anyone who's classed as a high flyer. That's going to be difficult. Can't hire or extend the contract of anybody who has a reputation of less than 45. Oh dear. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So we can't really sign any new people, basically. Fun. Anyway, we'll get into the show. I thought some of you may be interested in knowing what my owner goals will be. So we got a backstage incident involving Paul London, who helped create a great atmosphere backstage when he pulled off a rib. Oh, brilliant. Love that. Great. Right, let's book the show. First Impact Wrestling show. So yeah, I've booked the show. Oh boy, it's really difficult to book Impact Wrestling. They want a product of 40% matches for TV shows, which is why I've only got 4 matches and the rest of them are segments. So I might have to learn to make my segments longer or create bigger segments in general in the future, because this one was quite hard to put together. So yeah, let's get into this one, and let's just see what happens. So the first segment of the night is the announcement of the Bound for Glory series with a 4v4 main event. So there are 8 announced competitors, and there's 2 competitors yet to be announced for Impact for the Bound for Glory series. And so those competitors are Eric Young, EC Freed, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Trey, Ace Austin, TJP and Sami Callihan, with the main event being pitting Eric Young, EC3, Ace Austin and Sami Callihan versus Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Trey and TJP. So yeah, really nice main event. Really good, nice start to the show. But yeah, obviously I'm having to put them all off script. I don't know which ones are good on script and off script, so that's going to have to constantly be changing, and I'm going to have to write down a bunch of these down. But a nice start. Hopefully you like the competitors involved. There's some really good matchups in there, and Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows as singles competitors, we're going to see how they can do singly. So yeah, nice start to the show. The fact that only Gallows, Anderson and TJP aren't good off script is quite incredible. You know, Trey in there, who I don't really know much about Impact, so I might get a few things wrong about the wrestlers, as in like gimmick wise what they're like. But you know, looking at Trey, he was brilliant at the pay-per-view at Slammiversary, but I wouldn't imagine him to be one of the top stars. So yeah, that's brilliant. Right, so the next segment is Stephen Amell, who is my character in this save, announcing that he is the main booker of Impact Wrestling, and this is like a new age. And this was, one, because I was running out of segments, and two, well, I was running out of, you know, segments to do, so I had to put one something like this in. And two, it also puts an authority figure in. Those are the two reasons why I wanted it. I quite like the idea. I quite like having an authority figure, even if it's not like one that is set up just because of that. But an idea of just someone being more in charge than everyone else is a nice thing to have. So Stephen Amell making his debut, well, me making my debut, yeah, weird. But yeah, we've got an authority figure now, so all sorted. We know who everything's going through. So yeah, in this world, Stephen Amell is booking Impact. Weird times. Then we've got a segment between where the Motor City Machine Guns talk about being back and want new contenders instead of the North for those tag titles, setting up a match later between the Rascals and the Desi Hit Squad. So yeah, well, it could have been a better segment, but unfortunately the Motor City Machine Guns can't talk for some reason. Well, they can talk, but they can't go off script. So, but yeah, aside from that, it's not too bad really. Obviously the first few shows are going to be a lot of just getting the hang of things and just getting the ball rolling on a lot of stuff. So this is almost the baseline for what my worst show's going to be. Then we've got a matchup between Rosemary and Kiera Hogan, where Johnny Bravo's at ringside and offering some encouragement for Rosemary as she beats Kiera Hogan by submission with the Spider's Twist. Unfortunately, Kiera Hogan got cracked ribs, which I think brought down the rating of the match, brought the rating of the match down from what it could have been. So it probably would have been about a 40 rated match between the two if it wasn't for the cracked ribs. I'm guessing, yeah, Tommy Dreams told me that she sustained cracked ribs. Thank you, I've noticed. Rosemary has some heat backstage as it was felt that her mistake. Oh boy, I like Rosemary as well. Next segment is Scott D'Amore, Heath Slater, well, just Heath and Rhino all talking, where D'Amore kind of confronts them and goes like, Heath mate, you keep turning up but you're not a part of the official roster, and Rhino goes to sort things out. So a lot of this storyline is just going to be it's not a rivalry of any kind, it's just a storyline which will be Heath and Rhino trying to get, you know, them on the same roster. You know, Heath's trying really hard but everything just keeps stopping him from becoming part of the roster. 43 rated segment, not too bad. Then we've got a segment between Jake Crist and Tommy Dreamer, and Chris literally just beats up Tommy Dreamer backstage, sending him for a barbed wire table and just ripping up the back of Tommy Dreamer. So that starts off this rivalry. Really hot start as well. So 43 rated segment, not too bad either. Then we've got a nice little backstage interview where Melissa Santos is telling Eric Young that he'll be facing one of the mystery competitors next week. So yeah, we're just setting up. We're not setting up every match ready for next week, but we're setting up just a few matches for next week as the show goes on in the Bound for Glory series, bringing up some hype for that. Then we've got a segment between Ty Valkyrie and Johnny Bravo, where Valkyrie's quite annoyed at Bravo for, you know, being out with Rosemary at ringside rather than being with her backstage. So she's just quite annoyed at him really. 36 rated segment there. Then we've got a nice little match actually between Cousin Jake and Chris Bay, where Chris Bay defeats Cousin Jake by pinfall with the Triple C. Willie Mack was at ringside as well, and they have great chemistry together, so that could be a rivalry in the future between these two, and I would love to see that as a rivalry actually. I don't know much about Cousin Jake, so I'll have to do some research on him, but the fact that he has a good in-ring performance says to me that he's someone to keep an eye on the roster. 41 rating, not bad at all. Then we've got a segment between TJP and Melissa Santos again, where TJP is told he is also facing one of the mystery competitors. So we know that one of the mystery competitors is facing off against Eric Young, and one of them is facing off against TJP. So yeah, just setting up a few matches for next week. 34 rated. Then Eddie Edwards comes out speaking about the honour of being champ, and Rob Van Dam comes out calling him lucky, as you know, RVD wasn't in the match. That's the only reason Eddie Edwards has won that title. So a bit arrogant by RVD there. 48 rated segment though, not too bad. I think this match should be a good one. I'm excited to see what rating this match gets when it comes around to it. Then we've got a segment between Rick Swann and Eric Young, where Swann is getting absolutely battered backstage. So the cameras, you know, are chasing down what the hell's going on, and people are shouting as Eric Young is just battering Rick Swann with a chair over and over again, reminiscent of what he was doing at Slammiversary. And Eric Young's just saying, "You will not be the mystery man again. You will not be the mystery man again," and just literally going mental. Absolutely, you can just see the look on his face as he's just deranged, as he's just battering Swann, and just over and over saying, "You will not be the mystery man. You will not be the mystery man." So yeah, kind of wiping out Swann's chances of being part of the Bound for Glory series. 36 rated segment. Then Grace is backstage contemplating her loss for the title, and obviously she can't go for it because, you know, Smiley Kylie Rae has got her own shot, and Madison Rayne kind of walks in laughing at Grace as Grace stands up, grabs him, and just offers to basically break Madison Rayne's bones just on the spot before letting go and Madison Rayne walking away. So yeah, just sowing seeds of this rivalry. Then we've got Melissa Santos again, speaking this time to Willie Mack about why he was out for the match that Chris Bay was in. And then Chris Bay just walks in and is just like, "Look mate, if you want a shot, I'll give you a shot at the title. You know, you don't have to stalk my matches to get a shot. Just ask for it and I'll just beat your ass again," basically. So yeah, just setting up the rematch, inevitable rematch between these two. Then we've got a tag team match between the Desi Hit Squad and the Rascals, where the Desi Hit Squad pin the Rascals after interference by the North. Hit Squad not having that great of ratings, which is worrying for me. Rascals having a very good rating, so the North versus Rascals should be a very good match. So yeah, the North attacking the Rascals is one of those one of those weird ones, because you know the North aren't meant to be involved, so why are they out there? So that you'll probably find out about that next week. Then we've got Melissa Santos again. She's got a busy night, but you know, when you can only have 40% of your show be matches, you need a very good backstage interviewer. And Santos is with Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, and kind of is talking about their friendship in the Bound for Glory series, and the fact that, you know, they will have to face each other. That's, you know, that's going to happen, that's inevitable. And just speaking, will their friendship, you know, survive? And Anderson and Gallows are like, yeah, it will. You know, we're professionals, sort of thing. You know, we're experienced enough to know that you've got to do what you got to do. So yeah, 38 rated segment, just again building up some storyline heat for this Bound for Glory series. Then we've got a segment where Diona Perez talks down Kylie Rae's achievements and says she was lucky to win the Battle Royal, this, that and the other. And Kylie Rae nicely says that, you know, she's taking the title. You know, she doesn't want to sound mean when doing it, but she's kind of just pointing out, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take that title off of you. So yeah, 41 rated segment, should be a good match between these two. Then we've got a nice little segment where Moose comes out as champ and is like, you know, I'm the man, I'm Mr. TNA, as per usual, I told you I'd, you know, still be this. And Ken Shamrock comes out, confronting Moose, and basically Moose kind of just leaves the ring and looks a bit concerned. Shamrock is the first ever TNA World Champion. the first ever one in the history of the company. So the fact that he is now looking down at Moose looks a bit concerned about this. 54 rated segment, that could be one of our better rivalries actually. Then we've got the main event of the evening, where we've got Ace Austin, Sami Callihan, Eric Young and EC3 defeating TJP, Trey and the Good Brothers in 17 minutes when EC3 pinned Trey with the Sweet Meat Sizzler. Carl Anderson sustaining an injury is worrying, very worrying, and this match would have been really good, you know. I think that would have been easily in the 50s if it wasn't for the injury. Pretty much everyone high 40s, low 50s except from Trey, but it's not too bad. Trey is the weaker one out of all of them, which is why he got pinned. Ace Austin benefited from a hot new move. That's brilliant because I love Ace Austin. Sami Callihan off his game and Trey was off his game, so the fact that Trey's off his game is a good sign. You know, he's getting 42 but he is off his game. So yeah, unfortunately that injury to Carl Anderson could be detrimental to this Bound for Glory series. Yeah, that's not in the books. That's not something I signed up for, let's be honest. Oh boy. And then we've got a brawl at the end of the night between all of the Bound for Glory competitors. Hal breaks loose after the pinfall, and they're just all battering it out as the camera just fades to black as they're all beating each other up, just hyping the fact we've got this highly competitive Bound for Glory series on the way. So let's finish the show and see what we got. Remember, this should probably be the worst rating we ever get. And 50 rated, that's not bad actually. I think that's actually really good for Impact. Yeah, that's really good for Impact. I think our size is nowhere near that. So yeah, increased our popularity in 31 regions and would have gained popularity in 3 British regions, but growth was restricted due to limited viewers there. That's really good. That's really good for the first show. Do you know what? That's actually good. I'm happy with that. That's probably the best. Bear in mind that's probably one of the weakest shows I'll have overall, and I was quite concerned about that. But you know, we're going to have some great matches between all the Bound for Glory competitors. So yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. I wasn't expecting 50. I was expecting maybe 45. The fact that we're hitting that 50 mark already says to me, you know, the show should be hitting about 50s every week, and maybe the pay-per-view's hitting about 60. So, and that's really good for the popularity that we have at Impact. So TV rating wise, we got 0.19 TV rating with 143,000 viewers. So we'll have to keep an eye on how much that increases by. Total viewers was only 1,000 more than that. So yeah, not too bad. Let's have a look at the emails. Viewing figures good again. Time to heal. Rosemary's got an increased schedule. Cracked ribs and cracked ribs. So they should both be out for a similar amount of time, as they've both managed to get the same injury. Let's have a look at how bad it is. So they're both 6 days. Okay, that's not too bad actually. So all I've got to do is not have either of them wrestle on Explosion, and they should both be fine. Whew, that was a worry then. Kira Hogan could have been out for as long as she wanted. You know, I can work around that. Carl Anderson being out, that could have had to have changed all my Bound for Glory plans. So thank God that didn't have to happen. So if I show you the size of the company, yeah, you know, the highest size we've got is 44. So 50 rated is huge. That'll increase it in every region possible. So not too bad at all. Rosemary's got some issues and is quite annoyed because she's been blamed for the injury. I can't do anything about that, I'm sorry. Whew, yeah, little scare there, but not bad at all. So the show went down well. Let's get to Explosion and let's book that one now. Right, so I've booked Explosion. It's a short show, so it's only half an hour long, which is difficult to get the matches ratio right because just doing loads of segments won't work. So over time I'm gonna have to come up with a way to do it, but for now I'm just gonna break the rules. So we start off with Suzy versus Johnny Bravo. Just a nice little match, 34 rated. Nice way to just get Suzy over Johnny Bravo. So yeah, there we go. 38 rated by Suzy as well. Pretty good rating. So next segment. We have Rhino on the phone asking what he has to do, who he has to talk to about Heath to get Heath on the roster. So just gaining some traction on this storyline over time. Then we've got Melissa Santos backstage, just giving an injury update on Carl Anderson, Kira Hogan and Rick Swann, saying that obviously Carl Anderson and Kira Hogan should be back to full fitness in about a week, and Rick Swann's update is a bit more ambiguous, as it's not 100% sure. Yeah, not just right now. I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with him. They haven't quite worked it out in like the couple of days he's been in the hospital for. They can't quite give a time span for him. But yeah, so that might be just a segment I do on Explosion every time. Will be an injury update from anyone that's obviously got an injury in the past week. So yeah, nice little segment there. Then we've got a 44 rated promo by Tennille Dashwood, just her giving a promo on why she's here and what she's going to do and this, that and the other. Then we've got a little segment between Chris Bay and Johnny Swinger, and Chris Bay is basically rubbing it in the face of Johnny Swinger that he won the title without his help, and he didn't actually need Johnny Swinger at all. And then the main event of the evening is Madman Thornton defeating Crazy Steve in about 8 minutes. I just wanted to see how these two fared, and they're not too bad. I think it's more actually their popularity that's letting them down, which isn't that just the problem with everything on Impact right now? They've got the talent, it's just whether they just don't have that popularity yet. But over time we're going to build that up. So yeah, nice match, 33 rated. So that finishes the show. 30 rated Explosion. The crowd weren't happy as they expected more angles. Okay, so I probably brought it down actually, because you know we only had one segment below 30. So yeah, we definitely need to abide by the rules from here on out. Because otherwise we're going to struggle to put up a decent Explosion, and that could have... Luckily it doesn't affect our popularity that much, it's just a feeding ground, but the problem is for segments 9 times out of 10 you need storylines, but I like to only progress the storylines on the actual Impact show, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there, and no, I can't change the product unfortunately. So yeah, if you got any ideas of what I can do, please put that down in the comments. That'd be nice to know. What's going on here? So, noted for his great physique. Oh, okay, so Rhino's getting into a spat on Twitter with Randy Orton for their weight or something. An argument about their weight. I'm happy with that. Nice start to the series. Yeah, if you got any ideas, please put them down in the comments down below. That would be really nice. If you got an idea as well for how I can, like my Impact show, I can adapt that very easily to more segments, less matches. It's going to be a bit harder with the Bound for Glory series, but I'll work out a way to do it. Whereas with Explosion, it's going to be a bit more difficult. So if any ideas would be helpful. But yeah, hopefully you're excited about this new series. You guys seemed it in the comments of the ending video of my NXT series. To anyone new here, please subscribe. You know, this is the start of something new, something really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited about doing this with Impact, you know. Bringing back the Bound for Glory series, I think that nostalgia is needed, especially when you're just starting out. So that should make my start a lot smoother. Similar to when I was with NXT, a lot of the call-ups meant I had to do big matches. This is a way to do bigger matches to keep my rating up while still finding out who's good at what. So yeah, it's almost like cheating, but it's not, because I've worked out the right time to do this. So yeah, I'm excited about this new series. I hope you guys are too. Who do you think are the 2 mystery people in the Bound for Glory series? Who do you think those 2 people are? I'll be interested to find out who you guys think. One is confirmed. I know that the other one I'm waiting for confirmation on. So yeah, I wonder who you guys think are going to be the 2 mystery people in that in the Bound for Glory series from here on out. Thank you guys for the continued support on this channel and the series. Hit that like button if you've liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you in the next episode. See ya!